What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to be showing you the chicken tractor build that we recently just completed for our Orpingtons. So if you're in the market for a chicken tractor, stick around, you're not going to want to miss this video. We got a lot of work to do, so let's roll the intro and get right to work. Okay, so here are our printed out plans, and what I'll do is I'll stick our email address right up here in the corner, and you can go ahead and grab that. If you want a copy of these chicken tractor plans, just go ahead and send us an email and I'll get them over to you. So the front page has just got all the materials on it. The second page has got all your layout, it's got all your angles. The third page is basically just an overview of everything. We're going to be doing hardware cloth over here. And then you can use either metal or polycarbonate panels on the top, plywood on the back. I'll probably be doing some modifications to this design as I go along to make access for layer boxes. Now, this chicken tractor is not specific for layers or for meat birds. I left it that way, and I'll be doing, again, some modification to the inside to put in some layer boxes. Or if you would like, you can just put a couple of dowels across here on the inside, and then you have some perches for your chickens. So what I'm gonna start with first is the 2x4 by 12 foots I'm gonna put down on the ground. I'm gonna lay those out where they're going to be as far as the perimeter is concerned. Then I'll take all the 2x3 by 8 footers and I'm gonna get all the angles cut in those first, and then we can start putting the frame together. All right, so the first step is going to be cutting the 60 and 30 degree angles in the 2x3 studs that we have. But before I do that, I just simply want to check to make sure that we have 96-inch studs, which we do. So everything looks good there. So we don't need to do any layout lines for this because these are right at 96 inches. So we're just going to cut the angle right up to the point on this corner. So we'll cut 60 degrees on one end, 30 on the other, do that for all 10 studs, and then we can start building. All right, so I have all 10 of our studs cut, and then I went ahead and pre-drilled both ends of these studs. We are kind of close to the tip of these studs, so if we don't pre-drill, these screws are more likely than not to just crack and blow our stud apart. So we've gone ahead and pre-drilled those. Now what I'm going to do is just put the 2 end studs on first, and then I'll mark out the other stud location. So we're going to go ahead and take our 2.5-inch screws and drive these in. (34.5 inches), 69, 103.5, okay, so we're going to transfer our layout lines down to our pressure treated bottom plate. So there's our outside. Okay, now we can go ahead and transfer those lines onto our other base plate. All right, going to go ahead and put the center one in first. That way it kind of acts as a tripod and holds itself up. All right guys, so we have our standing frame. The next thing we need to do is cut the blocking. So we have 12 pieces of blocking at 33 inches and we have 4 pieces at 37.5. Those 4 pieces are gonna go right on this end section right here. So let's go ahead, we'll bring our scrap lumber over to the miter saw. Then we can start laying out our blocking, get that cut, and get it screwed on. All right, so our hardware cloth is 4 feet wide. So what I'm going to do is position the center of this about 47.5 inches off the corner of this base plate. So we'll have about a 1/2 inch to wrap around and staple to the base plate. And then the middle or the other end of that fence will be right in the middle of this board. And then we can go from the middle of this board right up to our ridge. And I think that should be pretty secure for the hardware cloth because I am going to put a second section down here. That way, the area where predators can really try and get into this chicken coop or tractor is well supported. So I'm gonna go ahead, start laying out all my blocking. We'll get these screwed in, and then I think what we can do is start on the hardware cloth, and then we'll work on the roofing panels. All right, so I've recruited Jacob to help me get this wire on. So I have more than just my 2 hands. So what we're going to do is we measured out and cut this piece of hardware cloth. This is 75 inches, so I'm going to leave about 1 inch, maybe 1/2 inch at the bottom, so I can nail it into the base plate here. We'll flush it up with the face right here and staple it right on. Okay, so we have all the hardware cloth on for the first 2 sections here. We're going to be covering up these last 2 sections with the polycarbonate panels. But as you can see, everything is all buttoned up. The hardware cloth is nice and tight. We've got it all fixed on there with the 3/4 inch fencing staples. So I think we're good to go there. I don't think anything's getting through. So let's go ahead and start getting these polycarbonate panels on. The first thing I'm going to need to do, I just realized, was we need a little bit of blocking up here for the polycarbonate panels to screw into. So let's go ahead, we'll cut that blocking to length, and then we'll go ahead and start working our way through this pile of panels and get those on the tractor. All right, let's get these panels on. All right guys, so our chicken tractor is coming along really nicely. I'm very happy with this. We have the polycarbonate panels on, we have all the hardware cloth on, everything is nice and tight. I'm really liking how this is coming out. I like the hardware cloth much more than the chicken wire. All the screws are in for the polycarbonate panels. This will provide them plenty of shade. We're going to be putting some nesting boxes underneath here, and I think that's what I'm going to work on next, is this end of the tractor. I'd like to do the door, but I'm out of screws, and if I do the door, it just makes it really cumbersome to come in with materials and kind of finish the inside. So let's start by putting a piece or 2 of lumber in here to support the plywood. Then we'll move on to the nesting boxes, and then we can start working on our door. All right, good morning. It's a little bit chillier today, but we need to get this chicken tractor finished anyways. We're going to finish this up, and then we'll go up into our pasture and we'll separate Waylon and his 8 hens into this chicken tractor and get them out in the pasture. So what I'm going to start with this morning is putting up a piece of blocking right here and then a vertical support for the plywood to mount onto. So I need to pre-drill these real quick. And then we have our 2 pieces of cutoffs from the piece of plywood down here. They'll actually go on each side and they fit perfectly. So we'll need to trim those down a little bit. and close all this, then we can work on the front end where the door is going to go. Then we can move on to building or transferring down our laying boxes from the barn and somehow figuring out a way that we can mount them in here and also get enough roosting area for 9 chickens. So I think we'll be all right. Let's go ahead and close this up, get the front door done, get the inside done, and then we can move our chickens in. All right, so I have my first piece of door frame right here. Both my door jambs are on and set. We have a 24-inch opening, so I think originally I said it was 19, but it's actually 24. 19 on the inside. So we have 2 3-inch door hinges we're going to be putting on this door jamb right here. So I'm going to go ahead and locate these, I don't know, kind of wherever I want, I guess. We'll put one down here, put one up there. Then I have this wedge right here on the ground. What I do with this wedge is put it right up against the door jamb, and then we can take this piece of frame and put it right on top of that. That way the bottom of the frame and the door jamb are at the same height. Once we have that in position, then we can zip the other 3 screws in of the door hinge, and then we can build the bottom and the top and the other side to this frame, and then we can start on the hardware cloth. All right, so I've stapled the hardware cloth all the way around, and luckily the other half of this cutout will fit on the other side. So we're good to go there. We'll put that one on in a minute. What I have here is actually some drip edge, and this is not for water dripping. What I'm going to do is actually place it over the edge of the chicken tractor right here, because people will spend most of their time on this end of the chicken tractor. There's a lot of sharp metal right here, so I want to do something to protect that. So couple dollars for a piece of drip edge. We have some aluminum roofing nails right here. I think this is just some scrap that I had, so they vary in length, but we're gonna try and use these little 1-inch ones. Pound in the drip edge, and then we can move on to the other side and then finish up the door. All right, so we have everything enclosed with hardware cloth. And I've also gone and put these 2 pieces of plywood up here just to try and tie the door all together. So I think we're looking really, really good. I believe what I'm going to do is actually bring this up to the field, get it in place, and then I'll figure out something for the laying boxes and the roost. I think what I'm going to do is actually cut some branches. We have quite a few nice straight pines and stuff around here. So I'll probably cut some branches to length and I don't know, mount them in there somewhere as a roosting bar. Yeah? You think that would work? I don't know how we're gonna get this up to the field, but we'll figure something out. All right, so it's time to start bringing Waylon and his hens over to the chicken tractor. So we hauled it up to the field on the trailer. That went pretty good. So now we're all set up. We have a roost, we have a feed tray, a watering tray, and 3 of the nesting boxes from the barn we put in the chicken tractor as well. So we're gonna start grabbing the chickens, and then I'll show you exactly what it looks like inside the tractor.
This one's big.
Hey Waylon, you ready? Ready for the big trip? Come here, buddy. So Gabrielle's grabbing some hens. I've got Waylon here. She's already got 1 chicken in the tractor who immediately started scratching and pecking, so that's why we want him in the tractor. All right, so inside of the chicken tractor, we have about a 1 1/4 inch diameter, just a stick or a green stick. And we have our 3 nesting boxes here from the barn. Jacob's got them food. I just set up the food along this wall where it's underneath the shelter. And then for right now, we just have a watering dish. We were actually just feeding Doc out of this, but we're going to use this watering dish for tonight, and then tomorrow I'll pick up a 5-gallon water from Tractor Supply or something like that, and we'll get them drinking out of the same 5-gallon waters as all the other chickens. All right, guys, so there you have it. We have a new chicken tractor on the farm. Waylon and his 8 hens are all moved in. They look to be doing really good. I think they're going to enjoy being out on the grass. But if you like the video, please hit that like button. It helps us out a lot. If you want to watch our homestead grow, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But until next time, guys, I hope you have a great day.